Mr. King closely about policing funerals in Ulster and whether, after this helicopter with a television camera aboard alerted the police and army to yesterday's murders, a decision was taken not to send in the security forces immediately to try and rescue the soldiers.
They could see 2 young soldiers being battered to death and then shot, and they were impotent to do anything about it. They couldn't do it for political reasons.
Those political reasons, according to the official unionist leader James Molyneux tonight, led to 500 police and soldiers who could have gone in not doing so. The result, Mr. Molyneux said, of a top-level decision taken early last week.
A high-level meeting was held at Stormont, the Secretary of State and the Minister of State, with, as I understand it, the security chiefs. And I think the politicians, with a feed-in from the Joint Secretariat, feeding in the views of Mr. Lenihan, the Dublin Foreign Minister, concluded that the publicity worldwide of scuffles at diarrhea funerals was rather unseemly and that something would have to be done to stop it. And then they further concluded, I say they, the politicians concluded, that it would be advisable for the security forces in West Belfast to adopt what they called a standoff position and not become involved in the funerals or appear in the vicinity of the funerals.
Mr. Molyneux will press Mr. King on all that in the Commons tomorrow. Mr. King will also be asked about the next political steps. For example, should Mrs. Thatcher, back from Chequers tonight after speaking to Mr. King in Belfast by phone, now hold an emergency summit with the Irish Prime Minister? Official sources in both London and Dublin discount the idea. Labour's Northern Ireland spokesman said a summit might be useful in 6 or 8 weeks. Of more use now, all-party talks in Ulster.
The sooner we can get the Unionists and the SDLP around the table together, the better. But that's got to be, I would think, on both sides, a meeting without preconditions to explore if there are grounds to find a common agenda between them.
In fact, Mr. King was due to have met the SDLP tomorrow for talks about talks, as he already has the Unionists. He hopes that as politicians in Northern Ireland realise the futility of what's happening there at the moment, they will see such talks as the only way forward.
At Andersonstown Police Station in West Belfast, the flag was at half-mast. Security forces here have suffered losses in the past, but few killings have aroused such revulsion. At St Agnes's Church this morning, close to the scene of the murders, the priest unreservedly condemned the killings.
We had foul and bloody murders committed in our parish yesterday. Our parish is seen as dripping in the blood of the murdered. And one thinks of the mob baying for the death of Jesus. Out there yesterday, there was a parody on the Stations of the Cross, even to the stripping of the victims.
This afternoon, women from Belfast travelled to the Army's headquarters in Lisbon to lay a floral tribute at a war memorial.
But the people in the rest of the United Kingdom need be in no doubt that the shock that they have is shared by the vast majority of this community. It's not something kept for the mainland. This is something that the ordinary people here feel very, very keenly about.
Everyone with a human heart in his breast will be sickened by the ghoulishness of this crime. The thought of these 2 soldiers being savagely beaten, first of all, and then shot in cold blood, will give rise to feelings of revulsion.
In County Fermanagh, another victim of violence was buried. Shop assistant Gillian Johnston, a Protestant, was murdered by the IRA in mistake for someone else. Tonight, Sinn Féin MP Gerry Adams said he regretted her killing and sent his sympathies to her family.